Life. He wanted to get the clarity in his mind on who was in charge of this particular thing. He made a statement. Now, a lot of people won't make this statement. They'll go right into what it is and what it takes to get to the next level. Never do they give credit to who the credit's supposed to be to. And that credit belongs to the one in charge. And I say that a lot because we all are just here following the ordinance of what was already laid. The Messiah already did what he had to do, but even the Messiah, even in the youth, had to learn. He had to learn the instructions of the Father. And he made a statement. I tell anybody, when he was at the temple with the elders, he said, to his mother, I'm here to do my Father's business. So he already knew that he had a particular instruction that he must follow. And while they were listening to him break down word at that young age of 12 or 13, they were astonished by the useful knowledge that he had. But a lot of people got knowledge. So let's just keep going. So here it is. He says, in this verse 19, thou knowest the commandments. Do not commit adultery. Do not kill. Do not steal. Do not bear false witness. Defraud not. Honor thy father and mother. Now, these are not even all the commandments. But what I want you to see in those commandments is this. Think about what was said. Now, when we look at it in a natural plane of committing adultery, and somebody had to teach me this, I guess about a year ago, about the word adultery. We were looking up the word adultery, and in our mind, we look at adultery, someone that was married, turned around, and they cheated on their spouse. That's the nip of what we learned. But when me and this person was breaking it down, what I learned in it was that this is the Most High talking to the people of Israel about going to other people, nations, and things, and worshiping them. Now, this is facts here. And if you read, and all the prophets was talking, they were talking. The Most High was talking through them about how the people was literally committing adultery on him. Now, remember this. This is very important. He was yearning to them, like, look, they went and they going over there to this nation, and they sleeping with the nation over there. They doing this. This is the Most High talking through or to these the prophets, his heart, about how the people was literally doing this thing, and it was hurting him. That they were pretty much cheating on him. They were cheating on him, and there was statements that he made, and I paraphrase because I don't have the scripture in front of me, where he said that he was going to let them be with them, and then when the war broke out, he said, "Well, let them help you." That sounds like somebody that was hurt. Somebody that was angry, much like somebody that been cheated on in a natural plane. And this is how you can look at adultery according to the commandments. It's not about you worshiping now, because that was the first commandment about worshiping other Elohims and leaving Yah behind, and you worshiping statues and people, whatever. But this was a little deeper because you were trying to still be with him and be with somebody else. So you were committing adultery because you were cheating with other nations. You were cheating with nations. Not see, we look at it and talking about false Elohims. We're looking at our false gods. We're looking at it on a plane of that. But when you come into the adulterated part, he was talking more or less that you leaving the place that he has placed you in, the tribes that you are in, to go and mess around in the other parts of nations, dealing with other countries and dealing with other things, and like he don't exist. You want to follow what they were doing the things that they were doing. And it was offensive. It was offensive to him that you would commit this act of adultery. And as many times, if you Google adultery, according to the Bible, you're going to see a whole lot of scriptures pertaining to this very thing about how, the people of Israel constantly they had such a curiosity about everything. And they were never happy with who they had as the leader, their father. They had to come and be around all these other people. It was so important to them. It was so important to them. And you got to think about that. Why was it so important for them to be amazed or astonished with all these other people? It was more important to them. And it caused the father to be very upset. So adultery, the same way, if you want to take it in the way that we have learned it to be, think about that. Think about that you have a partner that you love dearly. And then that partner going out here doing any and everything. How would that make you feel? How would that interpret in your heart? And this is how severe these commandments are. It's not just about you having a great day and out time. When you do that, you violated the very connection and commitment you guys had together. And it's the same thing, because if you are married and you're supposed to be married to the father, this is just your thing. This is your connection. This is your unit. And then you break the unit to go out and go into somebody else's nation or somebody else's house. What happens is that it breaks the very rule of thumb of a connection, a commitment. And this is the very thing that have caused people to break apart, divorce and everything. And it wasn't supposed to be that way. So, when you get told, deep into it, you think about that this is not just about, well, you cheat on your spouse and y'all divorce and you move on to somebody else. You're committing adultery by leaving the father to go to another nation to serve the way that they live. And this is why it's so important that we have to realize how hurtful this was to the father. It was hurtful to him. It was hurtful. The same way, if anybody ever cheated on you, think about how he felt. And I'm using this as a standard so we can get a good picture of the word. Imagine that. I don't care if you ain't never been married and you had somebody that you really loved and care about and they turned around and cheated on you. Internally, how would that have like made you feel? And this is the way the father felt when his people left to go and serve these other nations, and they were basking with these nations and serving their little Elohims and statues and entwining with who knows what. And here's the father sitting there who can see and know all things, was watching this activity taking place and really did not try at that moment to do anything because he's slow into this anger department. But he was angry internally, emotionally, by watching this thing. And he went to the prophets and he told them, man, look, this is hurtful to me. This is a disturbance to my spirit. And they're going to leave me to go over there. These people, let's wait until something happens. And then those nations get into war. And they stuck over there with those nations now. Let's see what happens to them. Because I'm not going to protect them anymore. And this was his mindset. That's why committing adultery is more than just saying to yourself, well, I'm divorced because I cheated. No, you have caused the rule of thumb of a problem. All right, so let's keep going. And I just wanted to explain that to you because sometimes we look at words and think, well, that's not me. No, you can't be good if you're doing that. You can't be good if you killing. You can't be good if you stealing. You can't be good if you out here lying and bearing false witness. Now, this is the things that the Messiah was trying to explain to this man when it comes to these committable things. These things that create an atmosphere of not receiving eternal life. It wasn't just a conversation he was having quoting scriptures here. He was trying to explain to him that these things will block you from getting to the place or the destiny that you're trying to go to. It will hinder it. And he was trying to express that to him. And then he says to them, he said, and then he said, honor thy father and mother. Come on. I want you to think about that. How many people really respect, forget about honor, respect their mother and father? Literally. They don't do anything that they're told to do. They just do whatever they want to do. And then they want to go to some ministry and be shouting and jamming and jump, boom, boom. And they don't understand the concept. You got anger issues with your parents. And you think that the Most High is elaborately walking around happy about it. But he's already showing you the end result. And he's using the Messiah to express to you. You're going to find out what's going to happen because you are going against the very grain. You ain't never just, well, please forgive me. No, because you're constantly doing it. You're not even stopping. You don't even talk to your parents. You don't have nothing to do with your family. But you saying that you serving the Most High. This is not what's going to be good for us if we live like this, but we'll quote a scripture about he forgive us. Well, let's just see. Now it says here, he said, and now this is the young man said here. This is what the young man said here. And he answered and said unto him, Master. He stopped saying good at this point. All these have I observed from my youth. Now I got this scripture. I was talking with prophetess about this, and this was something that she was elaborating on something that she was writing about how this particular thing. So we're going to get into it. And it said, then the Messiah, beholding him, loved him. Now think about that. Now it ain't nothing that you see that right there that the Messiah who heard this man say what he said did not embrace him for what he spoke. And he said unto him, one thing thou lackest, go thy way, sell whatever or whatsoever thou have, and give to the poor. And thou shalt have treasures in heaven, and come, bear this cross, or bear this tree, or bear this mark, and follow me. And he was sad at that saying. This is verse 22. And went away grieved, for he had great possessions. And the Messiah looked round about and said unto his disciples, how hardly shall they that have riches enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. Now, before we go on, because there's another part to that we're going to look at.